So my apologies. I've been delinquent in putting out episodes quickly, but what do you care? You're not subscribing to You're not paying for the subscription anyway. But I am glad if you tuned in to yet another episode here. Yeah, I've been on delay. It's been a rough year. What can I tell you? I've said this many times. I lost yet another dear friend of mine from childhood. It's getting to be ridiculous at this point. Like when you're putting more death days, I guess they're called death days, right? It's the opposite of a birthday. When you're putting more death days on your calendar than you are marking birthdays, it's not a good place to be, basically. So, and that's where I've been this year. It's just insane. It's where I've been the last couple of years. It's nuts. So, here's to you, Tedo. I guess the silver lining of that is I'm getting very good at grieving. I can blow through the stages of grief and for instance, if I hit a squirrel, I can get through the 5 stages of grief in like 2 blocks. There's denial. So I'll be like, boom, I didn't hit it. I didn't hit that squirrel. He made it I think he made it under the wheel. He's fine. I didn't hit him. There's anger. That stupid fucking squirrel. Why would you run out in front of me like that? How dumb can you be? I mean, you could have killed me. If that squirrel could have killed me, what if I swerved off the road? I could be dead right now. There's bargaining, right? I'll be like, oh well, it's one less squirrel. The world has too many squirrels anyway. It's fine. We don't need any more squirrels. I did the world a favor. There's depression. Poor little squirrel. Probably had a family. Just like I have a family. I'm going to be dead too someday. And then there's acceptance. Oh, look, green light. So, that's what I'm telling you. I can get through stages of grief quickly, just like that. By the way, I could ramble tonight. This may or may not be my first old fashioned, and I may or may not be wearing pants at the moment. There's a lot we could talk about right now. I mean, oh man. I've promised before not to get political, and I won't do it. I won't do it tonight. We could talk about Philly sports. Wow. Yeah. No, let's not go there, right? I mean, the end of that Philly series, and then to back it up with the Birds just getting crushed by the Giants, and the Flyers and Sixers are just irrelevant. Yeah, let's not talk about Philly sports. You know what? I think last episode I told you I was looking forward to watching the John Candy documentary, and I did, and it was awesome. It's well worth it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little choked up. I was a little choked up in like the first 5 minutes. John Candy was the best, and if you have a chance, I highly recommend you watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I'll give you. You know what? I'm going to give you my top 5 John Candy movies. Okay, or John Candy performances, and they may surprise you. Let's go with number 5, Summer Rental. Not a well-known movie. It's usually on like TNT on reruns. Check it out if you haven't seen it. He's awesome in it. Number 4, Stripes. I mean, Ox, right? Just awesome. Number 3, I'm going to go with Splash. He was just absolutely fantastic in Splash. Hilarious. Number 2, Great Outdoors. Absolutely love that movie. And he's just the best in that. And of course, number 1, Del Griffith. I mean, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I watch it every year around Thanksgiving. It's just the best. Del Griffith is one of the greatest characters of all time in cinema for me. Now you might pick Uncle Buck or Home Alone or what. Fine, that's your business. But those are my top 5. Those are my top 5 John Candy movies. I think. Yeah, we're gonna go with those. What else should we talk about tonight? Oh, here's one. Why do people drive with dogs on their laps? Seriously, why is that a thing? I mean, I'm a dog lover. I'm an animal lover, but we're getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand, folks. Everywhere I go, why do people have to take their dogs everywhere? They're in the grocery store with them. They're at restaurants. They're at dogs are everywhere. They've got carte blanche. They can go anywhere, but we have to draw the line at when they're driving the fucking car. Okay. I looked over next to me the other day. I swear to God, this dog was on somebody's lap. It had its paws on the steering wheel while the person's driving. Okay. Okay, fine. You want your dog in the car with you? Fine. It should be in the back. It should be in a cage. It should at least be in some kind of dog seat or seat belt. It should not be jumping all over you in the driver's seat with its paws. I mean, could we get more dangerous? It's bad enough with people on their phones. I mean, I drove by 5 people the other day. I swear to God, they were like this. And I'm guilty too, but I'm not that bad. It's dangerous out there. I'm glad my son can't pass his permit test because it's dangerous out there. I don't know that I want him on the road because there's just too many idiots out there. And now we have dogs driving the cars and people just with their dogs on their lap. Please stop it. Stop it. If you're one of these people, I'm talking directly to you. Get your freaking dog out of the front seat. That's all I have to say about that. Time for another old fashioned. Would you like to see how old man Bevan makes his old fashioned? Come with me. I apologize for the audio. Again, just shoddy production value from a supposed former professional. But if you want to know how to make old man Bevan's smoked old fashioned, I'm here to show you. So pay attention. First of all, get yourself a decent bourbon, okay? I'm going with Four Roses small batch tonight. All right. If you've had the kind of week that I've had watching Philly sports, you're going to need healthy doses of this. So we're going to go with 2 jiggers of Four Roses. 1, 2, and maybe a little extra. Next, here's a trick. Use simple brown sugar. A friend of mine told me that, and I've pretty much tried to do it ever since. So don't just put sugar packets in. That's a cheap way. Make yourself some simple sugar. Make it with brown sugar. And I'm going to go with we're going to go with like a 3/4 of a jigger of that. All right? Let me move my Four Roses so you can see what's going on here. All right? Then a wise bartender once told me, he said 2 things. He said he had like 4 different kinds of bitters. I've only got 2 here. He said use a bunch of different bitters and be generous with them. So I'm going to go with some generous portion of the old Angostura aromatics. And then we've got some, no, these aren't the orange, but they're another aromatic bitter. We're going to be generous with those too. Then we're going to stir it on up. Got my fancy stirrer here. I learned from watching all these bartenders over the years and picked up tricks along the way. So next, what we're going to do is I like a big ice cube. All right. I normally use a big ice cube. Tonight we're going with the ball. Ice ball. The death ball. Woo! There it is. All right. Now, don't ever muddle fruit. Don't ever muddle fruit. It's a rookie move. Hopefully I don't cut myself here for some reason. I don't have my peeler available, but you're just going to go with a little orange peel here. Okay. But not yet. First, we're going to use the fancy smoker here. Okay. Works pretty much like a bomb. Not that I would know what that is. And you just light it here. Get it going. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be generous with that, too. Let it sit there for a minute. Try not to set off any smoke alarms. And then we're going to do our orange Oh, now it's time for OMBs. And now you know. So, happy drinking, everyone. What else? What else you feel like talking about tonight? What are you watching, old man Bevan? You ask. What am I watching? I never saw the Righteous Gemstones, so I'm blowing through seasons of that. It's not everyone's humor, but I definitely laugh. The characters are awesome. Baby Billy's Bobble Bonkers. So you might want to check that out. I'm watching Task on HBO. It's not doing it for me. I've tried. I'm sticking it out. I liked Mayor of Easttown. I didn't think Mayor of Easttown was great, but if you saw that, it's kind of like playing off of that. And by the way, they don't get the accent. They're close. They overdo it. You know what? And I heard the one girl's British, which is always, that does impress the hell out of me that, they can even come close when they're British. And she's like, my dialect coach. Well, I learned a lot from my dialect coach. And I'm like, dialect coach? Just go there, or watch, what? If who should be a dialect coach? Pam on Instagram. If you haven't seen her, check out Pam. There's a plug for you, Pam. Pam on Instagram. I think she's hilarious and she nails it. Nails it. That's about it for me. I'm going to leave you with a word of warning. The internet is a dangerous place. And every morning I wake up and I do the worst thing you could possibly do is I look at my Apple News feed. Why do I do that? You got to be careful about real news and fake news and where you're getting your news. I always tell myself to check sources, and I don't always do it. So, it's the algorithms are there to make us angry, and I just don't stick to the articles that say someone frees the nip in Apple News. Okay. When did that become a thing? By the way, so and so frees the nip. I get there's 5 articles on who frees the nip, and that's a term. I don't remember that being a term, and it shouldn't be a term that's used in news. Of course, I click on them. But be careful out there. The internet is a dangerous place, and we're living in dangerous times. So, make sure you're getting the right information. How about that for a serious ending to my show? All right, everyone. I'll try not to be missing for too long, and maybe I'll be back. And in the meantime, maybe the birds can get it together. Go birds. Out.